quiet mistake ruins more lives than failure ever could. It happens slowly, no noise, no warning, no dramatic collapse. Just a person giving too much of themselves to the wrong people until one day they wake up mentally exhausted, emotionally empty, and completely disconnected from who they used to be. The frightening part is that most people never even notice when it begins. It starts with small sacrifices, a little more patience, a little more understanding, a little more access, a little more tolerance. Then over time, respect disappears, peace disappears, confidence disappears, and suddenly the same kindness that once made someone beautiful becomes the reason they feel broken inside. Some people do not enter your life to love you, support you, or protect you. Some people enter your life to consume your energy while pretending to care about you. They study your weaknesses quietly. They learn your emotions. They learn your habits. They learn how much pressure you can handle before you finally collapse. And the moment they realize you struggle to say no, everything changes. Your time no longer belongs to you. Your emotions no longer belong to you. Even your peace slowly starts belonging to other people. Modern society teaches people to give endlessly. Be available, be understanding, be soft, be patient. Keep explaining yourself, keep proving your loyalty, keep sacrificing your needs so others can stay comfortable. But almost nobody teaches the danger of unlimited giving. Almost nobody teaches the psychological damage that happens when a person never protects their boundaries. Many people spend years trying to become more accepted without realizing they are slowly becoming less respected. This is why some of the strongest individuals in history were extremely careful about what they allowed others to take from them. Powerful people understand a truth that most people learn too late. Not everyone deserves access to your mind, your emotions, or your energy. And once certain things leave your control, people begin controlling you without resistance. One of the most dangerous realities about human nature is that people often appreciate what is limited and overlook what is always available. The more endlessly accessible you become, the more invisible your value becomes. This pattern quietly destroys relationships, friendships, careers, and even families. Many emotionally drained people are not weak. They are simply too open with people who never deserved that level of access in the first place. Deep down, countless people are suffering from emotional exhaustion because they were taught kindness without boundaries. They were taught to feel guilty for protecting themselves. They were taught that saying no makes them selfish. They were taught to prioritize everyone else's comfort over their own mental stability. And slowly, they lost themselves trying to become enough for everyone around them. There is also another hidden truth most people ignore. Manipulation rarely begins with aggression. It begins with dependence. A person becomes dependent on approval, dependent on validation, dependent on attention, dependent on being liked. Then fear takes control. Fear of rejection, fear of disappointing people, fear of being misunderstood. And once fear enters the mind, people start abandoning their real identity just to keep others satisfied. At that point, they are no longer living freely. They are performing for acceptance. This is why emotionally intelligent people guard certain parts of themselves very carefully. They understand that peace is expensive, self-respect is expensive, emotional freedom is expensive. Once these things are handed away carelessly, rebuilding them becomes painful and difficult. Throughout this video, you will discover the 3 things you should never give people, even when they ask politely, emotionally, or repeatedly. These lessons are not based on fantasy or empty motivation. They are connected to real psychological patterns, human behavior, emotional survival, and the harsh realities most people experience but rarely talk about openly. Some of these truths may feel uncomfortable at first because they expose behaviors that society normalizes every single day. You will understand why certain people lose respect for those who are always available. You will understand why seeking approval weakens confidence from the inside. You will understand why emotional reactions give toxic individuals silent control over your peace of mind. Most importantly, you will learn how powerful individuals protect themselves without becoming cold-hearted or cruel. There is a major difference between kindness and self-destruction. Strong people know where that line exists. Weak boundaries create emotional chaos. Strong boundaries create peace. And by the end of this video, the way you look at your relationships, your energy, and even your daily interactions may completely change. Some lessons here are rarely discussed openly because they force people to confront uncomfortable realities about attachment, emotional dependency, manipulation, and respect. Many viewers may recognize painful patterns from their own lives while listening to this. Others may finally understand why certain relationships drained them for years without obvious reason. Every section of this video builds toward a deeper understanding of human behavior and personal power. So staying until the end matters because the final lesson is often the one that changes people the most. The third thing especially has destroyed more inner peace than most people realize, and once you understand it, you will never allow others to control your emotional state so easily again. Quiet minds are powerful minds. Controlled emotions are powerful emotions. Protected energy becomes unstoppable energy. And people who finally learn to guard these parts of themselves often transform their entire lives without changing anything external at all. They simply stop giving the wrong people unlimited access to what should have been protected from the beginning. So if you are tired of feeling emotionally drained, mentally overwhelmed, unappreciated, or controlled by the expectations of others, this video may help you see things differently. Stay with us until the end because each lesson connects deeply with the next one, and missing one piece may prevent you from fully understanding the bigger picture. Welcome to the channel. If you believe personal growth, emotional intelligence, and mental strength truly matter, subscribe now and become part of a community focused on protecting peace, building self-respect, and mastering the hidden psychology of human behavior. The first thing you should never give people is unlimited access to you, because the moment access becomes endless, respect slowly begins to disappear. This truth hurts many people because they confuse being constantly available with being valuable. But human nature does not work that way. People often appreciate what they can lose. People respect what has boundaries. People protect what feels rare. And sadly, the more endlessly available you become, the more ordinary your presence starts feeling to others. Many people destroy their own peace without realizing it because they keep giving everyone unrestricted entry into their time, emotions, attention, and personal space. They answer every message instantly. They drop everything for everyone. They stay emotionally available every hour of the day. They become the person everybody can reach whenever they want. At first, this behavior looks kind, it looks loyal, it looks loving. But over time, it creates a dangerous psychological shift. People stop seeing your effort as a gift and start seeing it as an expectation. That is where the problem begins. The moment people feel entitled to your time, they stop appreciating it, and entitlement destroys gratitude faster than almost anything else. Some people do not even realize they are crossing boundaries because you never created any in the first place. You taught them that your attention will always be available no matter how they treat you. You taught them that your peace can be interrupted whenever they feel lonely, bored, emotional, or frustrated. You taught them that your time belongs to them. Then one day, when you finally become tired and unavailable, they act shocked, offended, or even angry. Not because you changed into a bad person, but because they became comfortable benefiting from unlimited access to you. Many emotionally exhausted people are not suffering because they care too much. They are suffering because they never learned where caring should stop. There is a silent danger in always being reachable. Constant access removes mystery. Constant access removes value. Constant access removes anticipation. When someone knows they can reach you every second of every day, your presence slowly loses emotional weight. This is why many people who are always available secretly feel ignored, overlooked, and emotionally drained. They gave away too much access, hoping it would create deeper love, deeper connection, or deeper appreciation. But instead, it often creates emotional dependence mixed with disrespect. People become emotionally lazy with those who never create boundaries, and boundaries are not cruelty. Boundaries are self-respect. The strongest individuals understand that protecting access to themselves is necessary for mental stability. They do not answer every call immediately. They do not explain every silence. They do not sacrifice their schedule to satisfy everyone else's emotions. And because of this, people value their presence more deeply. Scarcity creates appreciation. This pattern exists everywhere in life. People protect what they fear losing. They value what is not endlessly accessible, and this includes human attention. One of the biggest psychological mistakes people make is confusing access with love. Just because someone constantly demands your time does not mean they truly value you. Some people only value the convenience of your availability. They enjoy knowing you will always answer. They enjoy knowing you will always listen. They enjoy knowing you will always stay. But convenience is not the same as respect. True respect appears when people understand your limits and still honor them. A person who becomes angry whenever you protect your peace was never respecting your peace to begin with. Many people slowly lose their individuality because they become emotionally available 24 hours a day. They carry everybody's problems. They absorb everybody's stress. They become emotional shelters for people who never ask whether they themselves are okay. Over time, their own mind becomes crowded with the emotions of others. Their own peace disappears. Their own identity weakens. They stop hearing their own thoughts because they are too busy managing everyone else's emotional chaos. And this often happens to good-hearted people who simply wanted to feel needed. But being needed is dangerous when it comes at the cost of your own mental stability. There is also another hidden reality most people ignore. Some individuals are attracted to unlimited access because it gives them control. When someone knows they can reach you instantly, interrupt your peace instantly, influence your emotions instantly, they begin feeling psychological ownership over your time. People often confuse access with ownership. This is why some people become upset when you stop replying quickly. They are not reacting to love. They are reacting to lost control. Your boundaries remind them that they do not own your attention, and emotionally immature people struggle deeply when they realize they cannot control your availability anymore. Distance creates value because distance reminds people that your life does not revolve around them. Silence creates mystery because silence forces people to think about your value instead of constantly consuming your energy without reflection. Boundaries create respect because boundaries teach people how they are allowed to treat you. The truth is simple. People rarely respect what they can endlessly consume without consequence. This is why emotionally strong people are careful with their time. They understand that attention is one of the most valuable forms of energy in existence. Once wasted, it never fully returns. And yet millions of people spend years handing their attention to individuals who do not even deserve temporary access to their mind. There are people who constantly demand emotional support but disappear when you need help. People who expect instant replies but leave your messages ignored for days. People who unload negativity into your life while bringing no peace into it. And still, many continue giving these individuals unlimited access because they fear losing connection. But connection without respect becomes emotional imprisonment. Some people are terrified of disappointing others, so they say yes to everything. Yes to conversations they do not want. Yes to emotional pressure. Yes to invitations that drain them. Yes to responsibilities that suffocate them. Slowly, their entire life becomes controlled by other people's expectations. Deep inside, resentment begins growing because their soul knows they are abandoning themselves just to remain accepted. The painful reality is that many people lose respect for those who never protect their own time. Endless availability sends a dangerous message. It tells people your life has no priorities beyond them, and while kindness matters, self-abandonment is not kindness. Self-abandonment is emotional neglect toward yourself. Powerful individuals understand that protecting personal space is necessary. They disappear sometimes. They recharge in silence. They let messages wait. They choose peace over constant accessibility, and this does not make them selfish. It makes them emotionally intelligent. There is strength in knowing that you do not owe everyone immediate access to your mind. You do not owe endless explanations for needing distance. You do not owe constant emotional labor to people who drain your spirit. Protecting your peace is not arrogance, it is survival. Many people secretly lose attraction, admiration, and respect when someone becomes too emotionally available. Human psychology naturally values challenge, depth, and individuality. When a person abandons their own priorities just to remain constantly accessible, they slowly appear less confident, less independent, and less emotionally grounded. This does not mean becoming cold or cruel. It means remembering that your life matters too. Your goals matter too. Your peace matters too. There must be moments where you choose yourself without guilt, because people who never choose themselves eventually become emotionally invisible even to their own mind. They forget who they are outside of helping others. They forget how to sit alone peacefully. They forget how to protect their energy, and one day exhaustion finally arrives. Not physical exhaustion, emotional exhaustion. The kind that makes people feel numb even around those they love. The kind that makes silence feel safer than conversation. The kind that makes someone disappear emotionally because they gave too much of themselves away for too long. But access is not the most dangerous thing you can give away. There is something even more valuable, something far more powerful: your self-worth. The second thing you should never give people is control over your self-worth, because the moment validation becomes a need, manipulation begins. This is where countless people silently lose themselves, not through violence, not through force, but through approval. Human beings naturally desire acceptance. Everyone wants to feel valued, respected, appreciated, and understood. But the danger begins when your confidence depends entirely on how other people see you, because external opinions are unstable. People praise you one day and criticize you the next. They support you when you benefit them and abandon you when you stop serving their expectations. If your identity depends on their approval, your emotional state will constantly rise and collapse according to their mood. That is not confidence, that is emotional dependence. Many people spend years trying to become likable to everyone around them. They adjust their personality to fit different groups. They hide opinions to avoid conflict. They suppress emotions to appear easier to love. They become actors performing for acceptance instead of human beings living authentically. Slowly, their real identity disappears beneath layers of people-pleasing behavior. Many people lose themselves slowly trying to be liked by everyone. And the saddest part is that even after all the sacrifice, complete approval never comes, because human opinions constantly change. One person will admire your kindness while another calls you weak for it. One person will love your honesty while another feels offended by it. Trying to control everybody's perception of you is mentally exhausting because it is impossible. Yet millions live this way every day. They wake up seeking validation before they even seek inner peace. Social approval becomes emotional oxygen. Compliments become survival. Praise becomes addiction. And once someone realizes your confidence depends on approval, they can manipulate your emotions easily. They know exactly how to control you. Give you attention and you feel valuable. Withdraw attention and you feel broken. This psychological trap destroys self-respect quietly. People begin tolerating disrespect just to avoid rejection. They remain in toxic friendships because they fear loneliness. They remain in unhealthy relationships because they fear not being chosen again. They silence their opinions because they fear criticism. Fear slowly becomes the invisible prison controlling their decisions. Some people become so addicted to approval that they no longer know what they truly want. Every decision becomes based on how others might react. Their clothes, their words, their goals, their personality, even their dreams become shaped by external expectations. This is why so many people feel disconnected from themselves. They built an identity around pleasing others instead of understanding their own soul. Self-respect comes from within. This is one of the hardest lessons people learn. Real confidence is quiet because it does not beg for permission to exist. It does not collapse every time someone disapproves. It does not panic every time criticism appears. People with strong self-worth understand something powerful. Not everyone has to approve of you for your life to have value. The moment your confidence depends on others, your peace disappears with their mood. If they praise you, you feel worthy. If they ignore you, you feel empty. If they criticize you, you feel destroyed. That is emotional slavery disguised as validation. Strong individuals refuse to hand that level of control to anyone. They listen to feedback, but they do not build their identity around public opinion. They understand that human beings project their own insecurities constantly. Some people criticize because they feel threatened. Some reject others because they secretly reject themselves. Some manipulate confidence because controlling insecure people makes them feel powerful. Once you understand this, you stop worshipping everybody's opinion. You stop shrinking yourself to remain acceptable. You stop apologizing for existing authentically. Many people secretly fear disappointing others more than disappointing themselves. Think about that. They abandon their own needs, goals, and peace just to avoid temporary discomfort in somebody else. They say yes when their mind screams no. They accept disrespect because confrontation feels uncomfortable. They remain silent when they should speak because rejection terrifies them. But every time you betray yourself for approval, your inner confidence weakens. Deep inside, your mind remembers every moment you abandoned your truth. This is why many people look confident externally but feel empty internally. Their self-worth was built on applause instead of identity. Emotional freedom begins when you stop begging for emotional permission to be yourself. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will support your growth. Not everyone will stay comfortable when you develop boundaries, confidence, or independence, and that is okay. The goal is not universal approval. The goal is inner stability, peace, authenticity, respect for yourself. People who truly value themselves are difficult to manipulate because they do not desperately need validation to survive emotionally. They appreciate love, but they do not depend on it for identity. They appreciate praise, but they do not collapse without it. They understand their worth even during silence. This is what makes someone emotionally powerful. And finally, there is something even more dangerous than losing your time or your self-worth. The third thing you should never give people is your inner peace. Because some individuals feed on emotional reactions. The more emotionally reactive you become, the more power they gain over your mind. Many people lose years of peace arguing with toxic individuals who were never searching for understanding in the first place. Some people enjoy emotional chaos because chaos gives them influence. They provoke, they criticize, they disrespect, they manipulate conversations, they create confusion, and the moment you react emotionally, they feel control. Emotional reactions are powerful currency. The more reactive you become, the easier you are to influence. This is why emotionally disciplined individuals protect their peace carefully. They understand that not every insult deserves a response. Not every accusation deserves explanation. Not every disagreement deserves emotional energy. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you no matter how clearly you speak. Over-explaining yourself to toxic individuals only drains your spirit further. Many people waste enormous amounts of emotional energy trying to defend themselves to people who already decided not to understand them. They replay conversations in their head all night. They obsess over disrespect. They carry negativity for days because somebody's words disturb their peace. Meanwhile, the other person often moves on quickly while your mind remains emotionally trapped. This is why emotional control is strength. Calmness is power. A peaceful mind is difficult to manipulate. Toxic individuals often lose interest when they realize they cannot control your emotional state anymore. They expect anger. They expect emotional collapse. They expect endless reactions. But silence removes their power. Peace confuses those who survive through chaos. People can only disturb your peace if you hand them the key. This truth changes everything once fully understood. Nobody can force emotional chaos into your mind without your participation. Yes, pain exists, disrespect exists, betrayal exists, but emotional mastery begins when you stop allowing every negative event to occupy permanent space inside your thoughts. Some battles are simply not worth your energy. Some arguments only exist to drain you. Some people are deeply committed to negativity because negativity gives them identity. Protecting your peace sometimes means walking away silently instead of proving yourself endlessly. There is incredible power in refusing to react impulsively. Emotional discipline protects mental clarity. People who react instantly often surrender control of their mind to temporary emotions. Anger speaks quickly. Ego reacts quickly. Insecurity reacts quickly. But wisdom pauses. Wisdom observes. Wisdom protects energy carefully because energy is life itself. Many people become emotionally exhausted because they absorb negativity everywhere they go. Social drama, arguments, online conflict, judgment, gossip, endless emotional noise. Their nervous system never rests. Their mind never feels safe. Over time, peace begins feeling unfamiliar to them because chaos became emotionally normal. But a calm mind changes everything. Clear thinking returns, confidence returns, emotional stability returns. This does not mean becoming emotionless. It means becoming emotionally intelligent enough to choose which situations deserve access to your inner world. The strongest people are not cold-hearted. They simply know what must be protected. Their energy, their peace, their identity. They understand that loving people should never require abandoning yourself. You can care deeply without allowing others to destroy your mental stability. You can be kind without becoming emotionally available to everyone. You can forgive without reopening doors that damaged your peace. You can walk away without hatred. And this is where true emotional maturity begins, not in controlling others, but in controlling yourself, not in demanding respect endlessly, but in protecting your dignity quietly. Not in winning every argument, but in refusing to lose yourself emotionally just to participate in unnecessary conflict. Many people spend years searching for peace externally while constantly giving others unlimited access to destroy it internally. But real peace begins when you finally understand that not everybody deserves access to your mind, your confidence, or your emotional energy. You can love people deeply without abandoning yourself. At the end of the day, life becomes very different when you finally understand one powerful truth. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to you. Not everyone deserves your time. Not everyone deserves your emotions. And not everyone deserves a front row seat to your inner peace. Many people spend years feeling exhausted, confused, and emotionally lost because they kept giving parts of themselves to people who never truly valued them. They kept opening doors that should have stayed closed. They kept explaining themselves to people committed to misunderstanding them. They kept sacrificing their peace just to avoid disappointing others. But real strength begins the moment you stop abandoning yourself for acceptance. Real power begins when you realize that protecting your energy is not selfish, it is necessary. Your time is your life. Every hour you waste trying to satisfy toxic people is an hour you will never get back. Your self-respect is your foundation. The moment you allow others to decide your value, you slowly hand control of your happiness to unstable opinions and temporary emotions, and your peace is priceless. Once your mind becomes controlled by anger, validation, fear, or emotional chaos, everything around you starts feeling heavier. This is why emotionally strong people protect their inner world carefully. They choose silence over unnecessary conflict. They choose distance over constant drama. They choose self-respect over desperate approval. And because of that, they move through life with a different kind of strength, calm, focused, untouchable. The moment you stop giving people unlimited access to your soul, your life changes. Your confidence changes. Your mindset changes. Even the way people treat you begins to change, because boundaries teach people how to respect you, silence teaches people your value, and self-control teaches people they cannot manipulate your emotions anymore. Not everyone deserves your energy. Some people only enter your life to consume your attention, disturb your peace, and distract you from becoming the person you are meant to become. Learn to recognize the difference between people who genuinely care about your growth and people who only care about your availability. One will inspire your peace, the other will slowly destroy it. Some doors must stay closed even when people knock. Some conversations are not worth reopening. Some connections are not worth rebuilding. And some people lose access to you because they abuse the access they once had. That is not cruelty, that is wisdom. The strongest people are not the loudest people. They are the people who learned how to protect their mind in a world full of emotional noise. So from this moment forward, protect your time, protect your self-respect, protect your peace. Because once these things are gone, rebuilding them takes years. But once you learn to guard them properly, your entire life begins to feel lighter, clearer, and stronger. If this message spoke to you, Subscribe to the channel and become part of a community focused on mental strength, emotional intelligence, self-respect, and personal growth. Like this video because it helps this message reach more people who secretly need to hear it. Share this video with someone who keeps giving too much of themselves to the wrong people. And before you leave, remember this deeply: peace is not weakness, boundaries are not selfish, and protecting yourself is sometimes the most powerful decision you will ever make.